All right. Well, good morning, everyone. Thank you all for joining our community roundtable on this lovely March spring day. I'm Jonas Durham, Senior Manager of the Broadband Office. I'll be your host today. And as always, the intent of this meeting is to provide you all with updates on the status of the CBO's broadband initiatives. And really, more importantly, it's an opportunity for the CBO to work directly with our communities, receive feedback, and collaborate on how we can improve our processes and be better partners to you all. So with that, your collective participation is strongly encouraged, mainly so that we can execute on our state broadband initiatives together as one team with you all. All right, let's go over a few housekeeping items, and then we'll move into our agenda, starting with this call is being recorded. If you have questions, if you have comments, anything that you want to discuss, just raise your hand, use the chat, and one of our many experts here on the call today from the CBO will be happy to engage. With that, let's jump right into our agenda for today, starting with some legislative updates from Paige. Good morning, Paige. How are you?
Good. Thank you, Jonas. My name is Paige Osmond. I'm the Senior Broadband Policy Advisor for OIT. So we are officially past the halfway point of the legislative session that adjourns on May 8th. And I'm just going to provide a few updates on some broadband bills. First up is HB 24-1336. This is the Sunset Broadband Deployment Bill. This is OIT's agenda bill. It did pass the Transportation, Housing, and Local Government Committee and has been assigned to House Finance. Next, we have HB 24-1234. This is the High Cost Support Mechanism Sunset Bill. This is directly related to HB 24-1336, and it has passed the House and is assigned to Senate Business, Labor, and Technology Committee. It will be heard on Wednesday, March 28th. HB 24-1334. This is the Broadband Service for Multi-Unit Buildings. It passed Transportation, Housing, and Local Government Committee, and it's up for second reading in the House Committee of the Whole. Next is HB 24-1245. This is the Fair Labor Practice Requirements for Broadband Projects. It's been assigned to Business Affairs and Labor Committee, and it will be heard tomorrow, approximately at 1:30. SB 2491 is the Rights of Way for Broadband Deployment. This has been assigned to the Senate Transportation and Energy Committee. However, it has been postponed. We also have R1, which is OIT's budget request for Middle Mile. The Joint Budget Committee did approve this request, so the next step will be for it to be included as a line item in the budget bill, otherwise known as the long bill. And if you want to learn more about legislative updates, there's a broadband legislative stakeholder call. Normally it's at Wednesdays at 1, but this week we are moving it to Friday at 11. If you'd like to attend, just make sure you register. Thank you, and passing it back over to Jonas.
Excellent. Thank you, Paige. As always, really appreciate you being on these calls. There's a lot going on with broadband legislation right now. I know you're super busy, so we appreciate you taking time out of your day to update everyone on what's going on in your world. Any questions from anyone on the call for Paige or anything related to the legislation? All right, then. Let's keep moving along. Moving along, let's talk about where we are with BEAD and that process, starting with Volume 2. So right now we are working with the NTIA to approve our Volume 2. We've been going back and forth with them now for a few months, and we'll soon begin developing the project area map and grant guidelines along with that. So we're actually, even though it feels like it's taking a long time, we're actually ahead of pretty much every other state in the nation with this part of the process. So although it does feel like it's taking longer than expected, we are moving along quite well in comparison to everyone else. And as we move into the spring months, we'll then start completing the challenge process I think by Q3, then we'll publish our project area map and guidelines for public comment. And then finally, as we approach the fall of this year, we plan to begin the subgrantee process with awards expected in the beginning of 2025. So a lot going on there. We continue to move the BEAD process forward. And it looks like, oh no, it's my own chat. So let's see. If you want to stay informed with what's going on, make sure you check out any of these websites that we have listed here. It's a great way to keep up on this fast moving process. I mentioned a little bit about the Bead Challenge process, so I'd like to turn it over to Megan, who's going to provide some more detailed updates on that Bead Challenge process. Megan, how are you? What's going on with the Bead Challenge process, and what can we expect in the months to come?
Thanks, Jonas. So I'm Megan Gernert. I manage the Broadband data program. So the Bead Challenge process, we are now in the rebuttal phase. So we ran the challenge phase from January 10th to February 9th, where we accepted challenges to the map. Our evidence review took a little bit longer than we expected. So rebuttal notifications did not go out in February. They actually went out last week for the most part. And some of the community anchor institution rebuttal notifications are still forthcoming. So keep an eye out for those. The rebuttal phase will be 30 days from the date of the last rebuttal notification. Everyone has a full 30 days to submit those rebuttals. And then we'll move into the final determination phase where we make decisions on all of the challenges and rebuttals that we've received and create a final data set, compare that to, the updated FCC map, and any new funding that has been awarded, we will deduplicate that. So you can keep updated on the challenge process by visiting our challenge portal linked at the bottom of the slide. And we'll have updates in our newsletter as well. And I think that's all I have.
Well, thank you very much, Megan. We appreciate all the hard work by you and your team and keeping us on track with all the data analytics that goes along with this. There's a lot there, and you and your team are quite the experts and very talented when it comes to your work on the data and GIS. So thank you. Moving on to CPF. So as you know, we announced back in January some CPF awards. We announced 28 projects that are now in the contracting phase. And since then, we've been working through the challenges and appeals. And really, as a result of those challenges, some of the projects have been reduced in size or completely eliminated to prevent overbuilds, which in turn then allows us to fund additional projects that we couldn't originally fund. So I think tomorrow we're on track to make a public announcement that will announce 5 additional projects that we intend to award. So this is very exciting news for those projects as well as the communities who will now be connected because of those projects. Again, be sure to check our website for more updates, especially tomorrow when we announce these projects in more detail and as we continue to advance Colorado broadband. So I'll pause now and open it up for any questions or comments from the group. Anything else that you want to discuss? Concerns, complaints, anything? Excellent. Thank you, Paige. Paige just posted a link to register for Friday's broadband legislative stakeholder call. Definitely encourage you all to jump on that. Some really interesting things happening there in the world of broadband legislation. So thank you, Paige. Well, if there isn't anything else, I'll give you back some time to your day. But again, I want to thank everyone for joining. We appreciate your participation and we value your feedback. So stay tuned. I believe we'll have another one of these in April, possibly May. We invite you all back then. In the meantime, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to any of us by email. Visit our website for more information. Give us a call if you need to. Whatever it is, we're here. Thanks again. Have a great afternoon.